Manchester City are facing a must-win in Champions League. What has gone wrong? How did it get to this point?
I mean, almost everything, right? You get to the point where you can't keep a lead, which is very un-Manchester City-like. You get to the point where your players are tired because you can't rotate them. That's very un-Manchester City-like. You get to the point where you're going weeks without scoring or scoring efficiently. You're getting opportunities and missing big opportunities and big chances. That's very un-Manchester City-like. And now you're left at the end of match week 8 in a system that everyone said, well, this makes it easier for the big teams.
Yeah.
This makes it easier for the big clubs. None bigger than Manchester City, really, besides maybe Real Madrid. And now you're on the outs, possibly. You need to win this last game against Club Brugge in order to just even get into the knockout round.
It is pretty embarrassing. Like you said, everybody thought like the big clubs were going to just kind of, it would be a cakewalk to some degree. And Manchester City, this format, given there's the extra 2 games, right?
That would be these 2 games in the knockout round.
Right. But it would give the opportunity for, you don't really need to win that much.
That's the point.
You could be fairly bad and still make it into the next round.
Roughly 13 points, right? 12, 13 points get you into that knockout round.
So you would, across 8 matches.
You think you can't do half of them as wins, bro?
Exactly. And specifically Manchester City. It's like, all right, well, we know who's going to get, like, Manchester City being on the outs just even looks uncomfortable on the table. It's just like no one, we all know for years the collapse, the epic collapses and the epic moments, the VAR, going against Manchester City, taking away goals that would give them the opportunity to maybe get to a final on the side. They've had so much heartbreak in Champions League. This would arguably kind of be the worst. This is like the easiest format for them to just simply get to the next round. Which
this would be a complete capitulation if they don't get in there.
Exactly.
And when I look at it, there's one thing that can be pointed to, and the most frustrating thing is that there's a whole group of people. There's a massive, massive amount of people that would say what I'm about to say is absolute insanity. But removing Rodri, who absolutely deserved a Ballon d'Or, as much as I love Vinny, removing him from this team has been pulling out the bottom Jenga piece as the first move. You're crazy. What are you doing?
I mean, you got to be a bold Jenga player.
Yeah.
If you do it, some could do it.
Some can. Clearly, Pep wasn't it. I think this is completely put the rest of all the ills that Pep Guardiola has been able to sort of tactically manage around. Now it shines a bright light on them. It makes a lot of those things. And we just saw a match against PSG where a Pep Guardiola team finished with 37% possession. That is so unheard of.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is they could not stop the attacks. The other team also wants possession. Usually that doesn't bother Manchester City. Both teams want possession. Well, we're going to have it. We're going to have control of the ball.
Yeah.
Without someone like Rodri in the middle of that field being able to run that entire match and run the program, you don't get the control.
Yeah, you got to, we have it up on the screen, but just go check out this article on OneFootball. 4 damning stats that have Man City on brink of Champions League exit after PSG comeback. But when you look at these stats, it's remarkable that this is a Manchester City team. 4-2, the expected goals.
When was the last time you saw a team finish with more than 1.0 expected goals than Manchester City?
Yeah, it's surreal.
You got to go, but that's pre-money era.
Maybe. Was Carlos Tevez still there?
Yeah, seriously, bro.
So the one stat that really stands out is losing leads. This is the last few weeks, the last few months. It's been remarkable, and just even in the last 3 games, they go up 2-0. Remember the game against Brentford, where the 2-0. They always say like 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in football, and it's like there seems to be a lot of truth to that, specifically with Manchester City.
I think Pep said it.
but it's almost like if Manchester City doesn't score the 3rd goal before you score at least the second, it's like they can't hold on to leads all of a sudden, and it's so odd because it feels like it wasn't the beginning of this season, just like again losing Rodri. And then it affected everybody negatively and specifically defensively. They're still scoring a whole bunch of goals. But man, it's hard to make sense of it, but it's no place more apparent than in Champions League, where it should have been a little bit easier. You got you got a bunch of games, but the preparation, the mentality, all seems to be like at a loss or just a lot of confusion. And now this upcoming game against Club Brugge. If they lose at home,
no, this would be. And by the way, it's not a given that they're going to win.
No, not at
all.
Club
Brugge is not an easy club to play.
Club Brugge is currently into the next round, but if they don't want to lose,
no,
they're going to do everything possible, whether it's give 95% possession and just set up shop, shut it down.
And look, Manchester City can get through with a draw, but they need a lot of help in order to make that happen.
Yeah.
They control their own identity. You get the 3 points, you move on. Can that happen? I'm not sold that it will.
Yeah, the fact that it's even gotten to this point, and specifically in Champions League, this will be, in my opinion, worse than some of the previous Champions League results that they've had. They should get through. The format is set for this team to get through, and if they can't, incredibly embarrassing moment. I think
a lot being asked to Pep these days.
So shout out to everybody watching on OneFootball. We are the Cooligans. If you like this and you want to watch more of it, go. The link is in the description. You can subscribe to our channel to watch a bunch of funny stuff over there in the footy world. So go do that. All right, everybody. Peace.